be a little bit of a different video. As some of you may know, David and I moved to Toronto from Boston 3 years ago, and it has been amazing, but we had to learn a whole heck of a lot. So I thought I'd pay it forward and put together a little guide for anyone who's considering moving to Toronto or anyone who just got here. Because man oh man, I could have used a how-to guide when we moved here. We had to do a lot of winging it. I'm going to help you not wing it. Let's jump into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is what clothes to bring when you move to Toronto. As you hopefully know, Toronto gets extremely cold during the winter. It gets into the -20s in Celsius, which can be a shock to the system for anyone who's never lived in an environment that gets that cold. So definitely pack winter appropriate stuff. You're gonna need some serious gloves. These gloves are extremely thick. The thicker the better, because your hands can get really dry and cracked if you don't have thick enough gloves. You want a thick, fuzzy or knitted scarf. I think infinity scarves work the best because they're easy to wrap and you can wrap them around your face, which I think is nice because my face gets cold. And a thick, chunky knitted hat or even an ear flap hat. David wears an ear flap hat, he finds that warmer. Here's David's ear flap hat for reference. It's not everyone's favorite style choice, but it does keep your head warm. If you're too embarrassed to wear an ear flap hat, you can definitely just get a chunky knitted one. Those do the job as well. You'll also need some very chunky socks to keep your feet warm. These even have fleece on the inside and they are sent from the heavens on a day when it's -20 whatever. And other than the obvious that you need a thick jacket, you'll also need thick snow boots that are waterproof and have some good traction so you won't be slipping on the ice and your toes won't be cold. You want to keep your tootsies nice and warm this winter, alright? I also recommend getting some cozy slippers to wear at home on chilly nights just so you feel more comfortable when you're trying to watch Netflix or whatever you do. But Toronto isn't cold all year round. It gets really, really hot during the summer. The summers here are beautiful. They get around 30 degrees Celsius. They get really warm. So make sure to pack shorts, lighter t-shirts, summery things as well. Now we're going to talk about my favorite, food. The two major grocery stores in Toronto are Loblaws and Metro. I personally prefer Loblaws. If you're on a budget, you can also go to Chinatown or Kensington Market. They have little fruit and vegetable markets and also sell other types of groceries, and they're really, really cheap and usually pretty good. That's where I go and get my avocados every week, and they are excellent. Also, if you're on a budget, there are cheaper grocery stores like No Frills and Bulk Barn. Also, if you're looking for places to go out to eat, I highly recommend looking on Blog.to. They have great lists of like the best taco places in Toronto, the best poutine places in Toronto, the best donut shops in Toronto. So they have any food you're looking for and you can find some great little hidden gems around the city. Toronto is a beautiful melting pot of all different kinds of cultures, so they have amazing restaurants here. I've had the best sushi I've ever had here, but any country's food you're looking for, I'm sure you will be able to find it. Now we're going to talk about getting our drink on. If you're looking to buy alcohol, you can go to the LCBO, which is actually run by the government, or you can go to Wine Rack or the beer store. Also, Loblaws, the grocery store, is starting to sell alcohol as well, which makes it a little bit more convenient for people. If you're looking to go out to a bar, a pub, or a club, I would look on Blog.to as well and look up bars in your area. Just so you know, the drinking age in Ontario is 19. Next thing we're going to be talking about is transportation. Toronto has an excellent public transportation system. There is a subway, buses, and a streetcar that goes above ground. And I find that I don't usually have change to pay for the streetcar. Like, I don't keep a lot of change in my purse, a lot of loonies and toonies, as Canadians would say. That's the $1 or $2 coin. So you can buy special streetcar tokens that are little tokens that look like this. You can buy them at the train stations, or you can buy them at Shoppers, which is like a drugstore, and you can use these to pay for the subway, the bus, or the streetcar. Or if you're going to be taking public transportation really often, I highly recommend getting a pass. These are monthly pass, they're a little bit pricier, but it makes it easy. You don't always have to think about having change or having a token. Luckily, my workplace provides these, but even if yours doesn't, you can apply for a little tax break on them if you write when you're applying for taxes that you take the streetcar and you show them the receipt. So something to keep in mind. Also, Toronto is a pretty bike-friendly city. There's bike shares available, or if you want to get a bike, there's special bike lanes for people. Lots of people bike. People even bike into the winter months, so if you think you can bike on ice, then that's an option too. I don't recommend it myself. Next, we're going to talk about accommodation. For finding apartments to rent, I recommend looking on Kijiji or on Craigslist. I'll show the names right here, and I'll also link them down below. You can filter based on your budget and based on the neighborhood you're looking for, and it makes it pretty easy. I personally don't recommend signing a lease before you move here. I think it's better to see the apartment first. So I recommend when you very first move here, staying in either an extended stay hotel or a hostel. There are tons of those around the city. You can look those up on Kijiji as well, or you can just type it into Google, hostels in Toronto, extended stay hotels in Toronto. Airbnb is also an excellent option for extended stay hotels. Last thing I'm going to talk about is jobs. You can apply online for jobs on Indeed, LinkedIn, Workopolis. I'll link those all below. There are tons of great sites for looking for jobs in the Toronto area. But instead of just applying to jobs online, I highly recommend that you go to events. I think that getting a face-to-face interaction and seeing people in person makes a much bigger impact than a resume on a screen. So go to as many events as possible in your industry. Meetup.com, Eventbrite.com, other sites that show different kind of industry events would be a great place to look and to start your job search. Go to as many events as you can, bring your business card, and tell your story. You moved here, that's already an interesting story. Go, be yourself, knock their socks off. Before you move here, I highly recommend Googling your industry in Toronto. For me, I was looking at PR agencies and marketing agencies in Toronto, so I could get a gist of where I maybe want to work or what the availability of jobs is like. If you don't already get a job before you move here, events, 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 events. Put your pretty little face out there and don't stop until someone hires you. Well, that's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you found it helpful. If any of you have any other good tips for moving to Toronto, please comment them down below. Or if you have any questions about moving to Toronto, I'd be happy to answer them. And good luck! Toronto is a beautiful and very friendly and welcoming city. You're gonna have a great time. Give this video a thumbs up because you should be proud of yourself. You're moving to a new city. That is very exciting. And subscribe for more travel and comedy videos in the future. I will see you guys next week. Bye!